see the eyes, Blue.
Blue Ivy is only 14. Yet if you scroll through social media lately, you'd think the internet had decided she was decades older. The moment she appears in public, the focus rarely stays on her achievements. Instead, people rush to dissect every detail, the outfit, the styling, the makeup, even the way she carries herself. And this time, the noise became impossible to ignore. The backlash grew so intense that Taraji P. Henson reportedly felt compelled to weigh in, pushing back against what many saw as a deeply unfair narrative. Her message was simple. People seem to be forgetting that Blue Ivy is still a teenager. But this controversy didn't appear out of nowhere. Insiders say the same debate has been quietly following Blue for years, resurfacing every time she steps into the spotlight. One appearance sparks headlines. Another sparks outrage. Then the cycle starts all over again. Critics claim she's being presented as older than her age, while supporters argue the public is projecting adult expectations onto a child. And once again, the internet finds itself divided into two opposing camps, each convinced they're seeing the truth. What made this moment even bigger is that Blue wasn't attending the premiere as a famous daughter standing beside her parents. This time, she had her own reason to be there. She voiced Kiara in the film, marking one of the most significant milestones of her young career. Naturally, cameras followed her every move the second she arrived. And almost immediately, attention shifted from the accomplishment itself to what she was wearing. She stepped onto the carpet in a custom gold gown created by Christian Siriano, and within minutes, the online conversation exploded in a direction few people expected. At first glance, there was nothing unusual about the look. It was the kind of glamorous outfit many people would expect to see at one of Hollywood's biggest premieres. Elegant, polished, and perfectly aligned with the film's royal, fairy tale atmosphere. But as the night continued, Blue Ivy reportedly changed into a sparkling gold mini dress for part of the celebration. And that's when the conversation took a dramatic turn. Almost instantly, social media erupted. Comment sections filled up at a staggering pace as people began debating not her performance, not her achievement, but her appearance. Some users argued that the styling made her seem much older than she actually is. Others claimed the look crossed a line for someone her age. Within hours, what started as a celebration appeared to transform into yet another culture war battle playing out online. And the controversy only kept growing. The more people talked, the less attention seemed to be paid to why Blue was there in the first place. Her role in the film slowly faded into the background while endless discussions about fashion, maturity, and public perception took center stage. Insiders say the focus shifted so quickly that many observers were left stunned by how fast the narrative changed. That's the part that frustrated supporters the most. Regardless of where anyone stood on the outfit itself, Blue Ivy had just reached a milestone that countless young performers spend years dreaming about. She had secured a major role connected to one of the world's biggest entertainment franchises. Yet somehow, for a growing number of critics online, the accomplishment became secondary. The headlines weren't being driven by her work. They were being driven by what she wore. And as the debate intensified, an even bigger question started emerging beneath the surface.
Seeing Blue as Kiara and hearing her voice come out of that character.
I promise to be brave.
I can't believe that's my baby.
If I told my younger self that I was in a movie, I'd never believe myself.
Now, at the Grammys, Blue Ivy appeared alongside Beyoncé, wearing an elegant strapless ball gown that immediately became one of the most talked about looks of the night. Her styling was a little more polished than what people were used to seeing from her. And before long, the exact same comments started showing up all over social media. The accusations sounded familiar. Critics once again claimed Blue Ivy appeared older than her age. Others insisted she was being pushed into adulthood far too quickly. But this time, something was different. The backlash didn't go unanswered. Almost immediately, a growing number of people started challenging the narrative that had followed her for years. Supporters argued that Blue was no longer the little girl many people still pictured in their minds. She was entering her teenage years, and naturally her appearance was changing along with it. Others pointed out that she was attending some of the most high-profile events in entertainment, where formal fashion is often expected regardless of age. To them, the outrage seemed less about the outfit and more about the public refusing to accept that she was growing up. And it appears Taraji already knew exactly where she stood. As criticism surrounding Blue Ivy's Mufasa premiere appearance spread across social media, Taraji reportedly wasted no time responding. She pushed back against the controversy and made it clear she saw nothing inappropriate about the look. In her view, the narrative being built around Blue's appearance simply didn't match reality. And with that, one of the loudest voices in the conversation suddenly shifted the spotlight away from the dress and onto the people criticizing it. But Taraji wasn't standing alone. Before long, other public figures began speaking up as well. Christina Milian defended Blue. Jenna Bush Hager weighed in. Sherry Shepard echoed similar concerns. One after another, recognizable voices appeared to be sending the exact same message. Stop analyzing Blue Ivy through an adult lens. Stop assigning adult expectations to a teenager. And most importantly, remember that she is still a child. What made these reactions so interesting wasn't what they said about the outfit. It was what they suggested about the public response. The conversation had become bigger than fashion, bigger than one red carpet moment. It was now about how people viewed Blue Ivy herself. And despite all the debate, the controversy wasn't going away. Because just when some thought the discussion had finally reached its conclusion, Blue Ivy found herself pulled straight into another wave of online scrutiny after making an appearance at the Angel Ball. And this time, the reaction looked even more intense than before. This time, the controversy appeared to evolve into something much bigger. The conversation wasn't focused solely on fashion anymore. Instead, people began questioning whether Blue Ivy should have been there at all. Almost overnight, the spotlight shifted away from what she wore and toward where she was standing. Blue arrived in a sophisticated silk evening gown, styled in a way that matched the formal atmosphere of the event. By most accounts, the look blended perfectly with the occasion. But that didn't stop social media from reigniting a debate that seemed determined to follow her everywhere. Critics started asking whether someone her age belonged at what they described as an adult-centered gathering. Others went even further, suggesting that her parents were exposing her to grown-up environments before she was ready. And just like that, the same accusations resurfaced. People began speculating that Blue was being encouraged to mature too quickly. Supporters fired back, arguing that she was simply attending high-profile events because of the family she was born into and the opportunities she had earned herself. But as usual, the internet wasn't interested in reaching a consensus. The arguments grew louder. The opinions became more extreme. And once again, Blue Ivy found herself at the center of a storm she didn't create. What made the situation even more striking was the pattern that many observers started noticing. No matter what event she attended, controversy seemed to arrive shortly afterward. Different location, different outfit, same debate. The criticism kept repeating itself so often that some people began questioning whether the issue was ever really about the clothing in the first place. Then came the appearance that may have fueled the biggest discussion yet, the Met Gala. By the time Blue Ivy appeared alongside Jay-Z, the conversation surrounding her had already reached another level. She was no longer being viewed exclusively as Beyoncé's daughter. Insiders say public attention was beginning to shift in a new direction. Whether people approved or not, Blue was increasingly becoming a fashion figure in her own right. And that growing visibility was about to trigger an entirely new wave of reactions that nobody seemed prepared for. Anyone who follows the Met Gala already knows the stakes are completely different there. This isn't just another red carpet. It's one of the most scrutinized fashion events on the planet. Celebrities spend months preparing. Designers invest enormous amounts of time creating one-of-a-kind looks. Every appearance is designed to spark conversation, headlines, and reactions. So when Blue Ivy arrived wearing a carefully styled outfit that embraced the night's theme, the internet responded exactly the way many expected. The reactions came fast. Some people praised her confidence and presence. Others focused on how much she was changing as she got older. A number of fans even began drawing comparisons to other figures connected to long-running online discussions, opening up an entirely separate debate that quickly started spreading across comment sections. Whether those comparisons were fair or not, they only added more fuel to a conversation that was already moving at full speed. But beneath all the arguments, one reality was becoming harder and harder to ignore. This was no longer just about a dress. It wasn't really about a hairstyle, or a pair of shoes, or a single appearance at a high-profile event. The discussion had gradually transformed into something much bigger. It was about Blue Ivy herself. Every public appearance seemed to generate another round of scrutiny, another wave of opinions, and another debate about who she is becoming in the public eye. And as she continues getting older, taking on bigger opportunities, and building an identity beyond simply being the daughter of two global superstars, insiders say these conversations may only become more intense. The spotlight around her doesn't appear to be fading anytime soon. If anything, it seems to be growing brighter with every major appearance she makes. So now the question shifts to you. Are people placing unfair expectations on Blue Ivy? Or do some critics raise concerns worth discussing? And what do you make of Taraji P., Henson, and other public figures stepping forward to defend her? Drop your thoughts below. And if you enjoyed today's deep dive, make sure to like the video, Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications because this story may be far from over.